Alright, look, anyone who's seen Wizards of Waverly Place knows that Justin Russo is a cracker-ass motherfucker. But little did we all know that David Henrie, the actor who portrays Justin Russo, was actually a cracker-ass motherfucker in real life. For those of you who don't know, David Henrie actually spearheaded and produced the Wizards Beyond Waverly Place reboot that started a few years ago. And as the show went on, people started to realize that many of the characters from the original series were seemingly absent. There weren't many guest appearances, there weren't many callback characters. The show felt pretty fucking far removed from Wizards of Waverly Place. In fact, take everything I'm saying about the show with a grain of salt, because I stopped watching it after episode 2 because it was so fucking childlike and boring in my opinion. It had none of the charm of the original series. None of it. Garbage, trash, I turned it off and never looked back. But there's been a kind of dark cloud looming over the series the entire time it's been on. The reboot one, I mean. Remember how I mentioned that David Henrie basically ran this entire project himself? And hell, he even produced it. And remember how I also just told you that many stars from the original series didn't return for the reboot? Well, why do you think that was? Because David fucking Henrie never gave them the call. There are multiple main characters from the original series who actually wanted to return for the reboot, but were not asked or were not allowed to. And David Henrie is genuinely a cracker-ass motherfucker for not allowing them to appear in the show. It would have given it so much more popularity. It would have made it feel so much more connected to the original series, instead of this random-ass bullshit loosely tied together by Justin Russo. Jake T. Austin, the actor who portrayed Max Russo, the younger brother of the family, commented on Instagram that Max didn't get the invite. He would then go on to post something on his story that was a lot longer than that simple comment. To all the Wizard fans, just wanted to say for the record how disappointed I am to have not been included in the spinoff. I was asked back in 2020 if I was interested in reprising my role and said that I was 100% in. Unfortunately, the powers that be decided to take this show in a different direction, and my character wasn't part of the equation. Even though I wasn't involved, I still have nothing but love for my former castmates and wish them continued success. Thank you to all the fans who watched over the years. The show wouldn't be what it is without your endless support. Signed, Jake T. Austin, via Instagram story. Okay, alright. Justin, actually, just today, August 7th, Justin Russo, i.e. David Henrie, actually responded to these claims on an Instagram story, no less, so the public could see it. Why are they making their beef so public, brother? David Henrie said, I would have loved to have Max back, but sadly, he didn't accept our numerous offers to join the new show. We called him, texted, went through his agents, etc. I would have loved for this new generation of millions of kids to get to meet Max, but I respect his decision and wish him all the best. You know, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I don't have proof. I think David Henrie's a fucking liar. I think he's a fucking liar. Why would Max say in multiple places that he wanted to reprise his role, and then when you call him about reprising it, he rejects it? Why would that ever happen? That doesn't make any sense, and I gotta believe Jake T. Austin's side in this argument. But regardless of who is telling the truth, one of these motherfuckers is lying to the general public, and that's not okay. That's not alright. Moving on to other cast members who feel scorned by David Henrie. Jennifer Stone, who actually portrayed Harper in the original series. You know, that crazy-ass hoe who wears all these crazy dresses. I remember the marker dress the best. Comment your favorite down below. And yeah, she's not a hoe, I get it. Sorry that I said that, alright? I respect women. So apparently, in the final season or something like that, Jennifer Stone actually does make a very brief appearance, which is honestly surprising because her and David Henrie have had beef for years. But regardless, she's still upset because she wanted to appear in way more episodes than just one single episode. She claims that David Henrie basically forced her into a one-episode cameo spot and refused to put her character in any more episodes besides that one single episode. And during the first or second season, before they even called her to reprise her role for the one little cameo episode, Jennifer Stone did an interview expressing how upset she was that she wasn't asked to come back for season 1 of Wizards Beyond Waverly Place.
To be honest, I had mourned the fact that I was not going to be a part of the reboot, just because when I talked to David Henrie, it's about a totally different family. Like, Selena pops in and out, and so He's like, it doesn't really make sense for you to come in. And I was like, come on, we can make it make sense.
So there you go. Yet another person who wanted to be heavily involved in the show, but was basically kept out by the producer, David Henrie. Did he want the show to fail? Did he not want it to do well? Why would he want the original cast members not included? David DeLuise, the actor who played the father of the Russo family, Mr. Russo himself in the original series, even made a public Instagram comment about feeling left out. He said, it would not be over if the OG Wizards were really there. Missed opportunity. And you know what? I fucking agree. The show would have lasted way more than 3 seasons and been way more popular than it even was if they had the original cast members there. If it actually felt like a reboot and not just this random spin-off that kind of takes place in the same universe as the original show. Hell, even Dan Benson, who played Zeke, Justin Russo's best friend in the original series, made a comment about Wizards of Waverly Place that wasn't so favorable. He said, it's just heartbreaking because there was so much potential for a Wizards reboot, and it turned into the failed David Henrie show. People say I'm just bitter I didn't get invited back, but I'm actually just sad for the fans. Wizards of Waverly Place changed my life forever. I'll always be grateful. Brother, imagine all these cast members coming back for this show. It would have been stacked! David Henrie's either stupid as fuck or really wanted the spotlight to be on him. Because with all these people showing interest at returning, why would you not have them return? Why would you not reprise as many characters as possible to trigger as much nostalgia in the original fans as possible? It's so frustrating and so annoying because I can honestly see the potential. I can see it. I loved Wizards of Waverly Place. I watched it religiously as a child. Why couldn't we get a reboot that's worth watching? You know why? Because David Henrie put his finger in the pie, and he didn't stop at his finger. He put his whole cock and balls in the pie, so no one else could have a slice. I'm sorry. If you liked the show, good for you. It wasn't what it could have been, and hell, it wasn't even entertaining. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If I worked with a bunch of people for years and years of my life, very formative years, and then we did a reunion 20 years later, why would I not want to invite a bunch of those people that I was so close with? Why would I not want to go down memory lane with them? I'm even thinking about it from David Henrie's perspective. He should have wanted to relive those member berries with them. And I know what some of you may be thinking. Well, they got Selena Gomez to come on for a few episodes. She's basically the main ticket attraction. Well, let me tell you something. I know for almost a fact that David Henrie wouldn't have included her either if he didn't need her to get the show sold. He knew that his face wasn't enough to get a Wizards reboot sold to Disney Channel or Disney Plus or whoever the fuck it was. So he basically shoehorned in Selena Gomez for a couple of episodes, bait and switched the entire audience with the marketing, and that's how he got the show sold. So yeah, that's probably the only reason Selena Gomez was included, and I'm betting he wouldn't have even included her if he didn't have to. But I digress. What do you guys think of Wizards Beyond Waverly Place? Do you think it's a trash garbage show, or do you think I'm being a little harsh? And do you honestly think it's David Henrie's fault that the whole show was garbage? Even if you don't think it's garbage, do you think it could have been better if David Henrie didn't fuck it up? Or do you think it was out of his control? Ha! Yeah, right. All right. Thanks for listening.